Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican bad man, Sergio, aka the floor price guy. And we're Combat Sport Guys coming back to you with another UFC full card breakdown, this time in the form of UFC Mexico Moreno versus Erceg. But before we do, let's talk about last week, UFC Fight Night London, Brady versus Edwards. And I got to say one thing to you, floor price guy. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? My boy Brady came out, put the brakes on Edwards. What did I tell you, man? Got the submission win. I think, and to put it in your words, I think he became undeniable. What would you say, my man? What did you think about the card before we get into the bets and how successful we were? Break it down to me.
Edwards disappointed. Bro didn't look like he was there. It was just so insane to watch that happen, to see that man ragged. That's a 2 title defense champion and went through killer's row, beat Bilal Muhammad, and he just didn't evolve, champ. It was insane.
He didn't beat Bilal Muhammad. He lost to Bilal Muhammad.
He beat him the first time was
the first time. Okay.
The first time, but it's just like there was after the first round, and I had a shitload of money on it. I said, this and respectfully,
yeah,
this man there's a sports psychology issue, or this man has not evolved, or like you said it the best, he's not hungry anymore. When he was in the stool and they were giving him the greens, my man was just like, brother, you are headlining UFC London, and bro, I don't know, bro, maybe the guy's pooped out of being champ, but he's not hungry anymore.
Yeah. And then without getting into the full card, a couple of surprising decisions, in my opinion. I think Ulberg and John could have gone either way. I wasn't impressed too much with Carlos Ulberg's performance. He fought a very hesitant fight, right? He didn't, he kind of circled around the octagon, point fighting, right? He didn't really go in for the kill. He didn't really utilize his speed that well. And I think Jan, who landed the more significant strikes, should have won that fight. He didn't, but it is what it is. Mick Parkin versus Tybura. Watching that fight, I had Mick Parkin up 2-0. I think what won Tybura that first round, was the takedown. I think the takedown is what the judges saw, right? I don't know, because I got to rewatch it again, man. But I had Parkin winning that fight, and I was surprised with that decision.
Parkin did win that fight. Like Parkin didn't win. Like just like this is not like, because remember there was back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
If a wrestler takes somebody down, and does no damage, just holds him down, he wins the round.
Exactly.
But you're talking about somebody that was taken down the last minute, held like just. It was just stupid, bro. It was just like, it is what it is. I could see a split decision, but to say 29-28 when it was clearly, and the odds were Parkin at a
I think at closing they had Parkin at a minus 900. So I was very surprised by that decision, but it is what it is. Molly McCann hangs it up. She retires. Thainara, I forget her first name, Alexia Thainara, I believe, comes into enemy territory, starts twerking, starts dancing, gets the submission win. Looked good, right? I was underestimating her grappling. Like I didn't think she was gonna be able to maul Molly the way she did, but she looked good. Loner Kavanaugh, questions were answered regarding his grappling. Those are some questions I had. And good fight, man. I was very, very impressed with that fight. That was my favorite fight of the night, I would say. It was very bloody, him and Felipe dos Santos. Good fight. And then, interesting fact, between UFC London and UFC Fight Night, Vittori versus the Lice, we've had 6 dogs win on both cards. So is it going to happen again on this card? We'll find out. But here is our betting recap. We gave you Fletcher and Logren over 2.5. I also had a parlay with Logren and Holland when Holland was an underdog for like a plus 200, I believe. We gave you Padilla money line. I put money on Padilla when he was a plus 110. He closed in as a favorite. We gave you Duncan. Shout out to you for choosing Duncan, right? I was all over Vucenic. And Vucenic, just horrible IQ, shot for the takedown, got snatched up and lost. We gave you Duncan plus Felipe dos Santos and Loner Kavanaugh to go to the distance for a plus 535. We gave you Fletcher versus Logren via decision, plus Nelson and Holland via decision. We also gave you Wood plus Holland for a plus 347. And then we gave you the co-main and main parlay, Ulberg plus Brady. And I also made a live bet that it's not listed here, but I had Tainara winning by submission. So there it is. Every week we drop our bets, we drop our parlays, we drop our money lines. We try to add at least one money line, one parlay, and one prop bet every week for you guys to consider, to tell, to look at. And we've been hitting some really nice, underdogs, some really nice prop bets, and some really nice money line parlays. So make sure you guys check that out. Follow us on X. Show some love, as always. And we're not charging anything. We're not asking you for anything. We don't have anything. It's just us talking here, right? For you to consider. But the proof is in the pudding, man. We've been pretty successful. We've been doing well. We've been making some money, and that's not going to change this week. So, any feedback on that? Any comments on this?
No, it's a good card. I just think there was a lot of like bizarre like things that happened, and it is what it is, bro. Like we're not only betting against the fighter, we're betting against the system too, right? Like
exactly. And I want to give you your props, man, because I think this is the third week or the fourth week where you have been picking some nice dogs, man. You had Carlos Vera at a plus 537 money line. You had Nathaniel Wood, who was a minus, what was he, like a minus 300, like a plus 300 or plus 280?
Bro,
or something
that was
like that?
insane how they like.
Yeah.
And I would remember I told you, bro, I don't understand why.
Exactly. Like you've been picking these dogs nicely, and I don't know, man. We'll see what happens this week. We'll see if you can continue that streak, because there are some nice dogs on this card. But without further ado, let's get into UFC Mexico Moreno versus Erceg. Some things to consider for this card before we get into the breakdown. They are fighting at elevation, so be mindful when you're looking at these fights. Are they grappling heavy? Do they pack a lot of muscle? Because they are fighting at a plus 7,800 elevation, I believe, right, in Ciudad de Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. So those are something to consider. But without further ado, let's get into this card. Kicking it off, we have the veteran in Austin Hubbard taking on Markel Mederos. Now, Hubbard is 16-8-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Anthony Hernandez. I'm sorry, not Anthony Hernandez. I'm thinking of the wrong Hernandez, bro. Last losing to Alexander Hernandez via unanimous decision. Mederos is 9-1-0, and this is their second fight in the UFC. He is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Landon Quinones via unanimous decision. Now, Mederos is a former Factory X fighter. He is now with MMA Labs. He's been out of action for about a year, and he pulled out of his last fight at UFC 104, I believe, due to an undisclosed injury. So he's primarily a striker. He's athletic. He's fast. He throws with a lot of outputs. He's not so polished in his takedowns. Like, one of the things I noticed in his last fight against Quinones is that his offensive grappling isn't that good. I think he attempted 6 to 7 takedowns and he was unsuccessful. And his striking defense isn't the best. He was getting tagged a lot in that first round, if you watch that fight. And he's going up against somebody like Hubbard, right? Who, both these guys, they train at elevation. And Hubbard, he's also trained at elevation, but he's at a new camp now. He's with the Bilal Muhammad camp. He's coming off of that close decision loss against Alexander Hernandez. He's a forward pressure moving fighter who likes to grind. He isn't he isn't great anywhere. He's pretty good everywhere. And I think he's well-rounded. He has that wrestling base. He has decent striking. He's durable. He has that solid wrestling and grappling background with a 58% takedown accuracy. And I think he's going to test that here against Mederos. I think he's going to push the pace. He's going to land some nice counters, and he's going to have him against the fence. I have him winning here via decision. I don't see Mederos knocking him out. Hubbard has never been knocked out in his career. So if you're banking on that, all luck to you. I think it's going to be a decision fight here, and I think I'm going to give it to Hubbard. I think he's going to push the pace. He's going to get in his face. He's going to secure some takedowns. Now, Mederos might have some moments where he lands some significant strikes or some nice power shots, but I think, with him being able to get hit so much and him not having his grappling tested, I think Hubbard can pull it out here, man. I'm going to go with Hubbard as the dog to kick off this card.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, this is one of these fights where I'm bullish on Hubbard. I'm super bullish, analyzing the last fight. Mederos doesn't really push forward. And, Alex Rodriguez has some – Alexander Hernandez.
we're both getting him wrong, bro.
Yeah, because what do you call it? Fluffy, and
yeah, fluffy.
I think Mederos is a little bit too green for Hubbard. I think Hubbard, with the new camp, he puts it together a little bit more. I think, out of all the dogs, this is actually a very, very good dog, like a more confident dog. Things I observed from the last fight is Mederos is not good with pressure. He really isn't. Hubbard isn't as well, but it's just the opposition that Hubbard has faced has been a little bit more, let's say, hotter than Mederos.
Yes.
And then you got the wrestling aspect too. There's a lot of the team change. And how many months has it been? It's been 5 months. My man comes in and gets it done. I don't know how gets it done. Might be a decision, might be a submission. But I am going straight money line on Hubbard off the bat. Yeah. Like I said, I just like these wins, and like it's just.
Yeah, and then like when these fight, like I don't want to say he's making a debut, but when these fighters are newer to the UFC, I really look at like those are the fights that I look at most to see if how this fight will play out, right? And a lot of the time, some of these guys, it could be what's it called? Like it could be enticing to bet on because you see the record, right? Like think of it like a Rafael Sequeira, right? When they see that 10-0, they see the knockouts. People, sometimes people make blind bets. They don't look at the fights and they don't see like, oh, this guy has a lot of gaps or holes in their game, right? But the record looks nice. They're 5-5. They look at the green stuff on Tapology and they make those bets. But watching his last fights, I wasn't too impressed with the way he got hit, his offensive grappling. I think there are some gaps. And as you said it, I think, when it comes down to pressure and somebody like Austin Hubbard who's going to push forward, I think he's going to get it done on the scorecards, man.
He definitely gets it done. And like, look, he looked well. He did good. It's just like, when he first came to the UFC, he had a tough run. Let's be honest with each other. Yeah. 3 years not everybody pulls it off, right? But like I said, maybe we're wrong. Maybe this kid now comes out. Let's see who's ready for the oxygen tank in Mexico City.
Yeah, let's see who's ready. Next up, we have Jamal Emmers taking on Gabriel Miranda. Emmers is 28-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Nate Landwehr via KO. Miranda is 17-7-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Morgan Chairez via KO. Emmers, he has that wrestling base. He has functional striking. He's strong. He's durable. He has good takedown defense. He's only been finished twice. And when you look, he's also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When you look at Miranda, he's an aggressive grappler with a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I think he's like a 3rd degree, or I forget. I think he's a 3rd degree black belt. He has competent striking. He has a dangerous submission game. But that's kind of like his game has evolved, right? Like he doesn't shoot for takedowns, and I don't think he's going to shoot for takedowns in this fight. He kind of just fights off his back. I think he has good cardio. He likes to maintain control. His striking defense isn't the best. He absorbs about 5.8 significant strikes per minute, and he's going up against somebody like Emmers who has the striking, who has the power behind his strikes to get it done here. I think Emmers takes it here, man. Miranda tends to fade if he can't secure any dominance early on, and I think at elevation, this is Emmers' fight to lose. So I'm going to go with Jamal Emmers to get it done.
Yeah, this is a hard one, right? Because I do want to pick Miranda. I want to see Miranda goes out there, takes him done. But Emmers has he's not bad on the ground. Like and the striking is pretty solid. It's pretty quick. I'm gonna go with Emmers. I'm not gonna play games here. I'm not gonna. One of the things I told you this year is I'm looking for value, and
this is the year to do it, man. This is the year of the dogs too. This is the year to do it. A bunch of dogs have been winning.
Yeah. I just the fact that my guy Ken held it down on the striking department against my man over here, Morgan Chairez, is a little bit concerning because the thing is, Emmers is going to bring that kind of like Bobby Green style of boxing where his hands low, pop, low kick, goes for the takedown, has very good power. So, Gabriel Mendes is very good on the takedown defense, but I think Emmers just stuffs it, honestly. So we're going Emmers.
We're both going for Emmers here. So far we are on the same page for the first 2 fights. Next up, we have Rafa Garcia taking on Vink Pichel. Garcia 16-4-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Grant Dawson via KO, which was a nasty KO if you remember. Pichel is 14-4-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Ismael Bonfim via unanimous decision. Now, Garcia is the favorite I see here at a minus 480, whereas Pichel is the dog at a plus 360. When you look at Garcia, he's a wrestle heavy grappler with some submission skills. That's his bread and butter. He likes to take the fights down to the ground where he controls you. He averages about 2.73 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 50% accuracy rate. His cardio, he's shown his ability to maintain a high pace throughout his fights. He likes to wear down his opponents through pressure. He likes to just, push forward, get those takedowns, and tire you out, right? When you look at Pichel, he's a brawler with knockout power. He has good grappling. He's comfortable with the striking or grappling. He has a 61% takedown defense and decent submission defense. Now, I could see this fight actually going either way. You look at the age of Pichel, he's 42 years old, and you can make the argument, he's older, 30-year-old guy who moves forward, who has decent striking, who is a wrestle heavy, a fighter, should get this done, but they're at elevation, right? So if you're on the side of Pichel, you're going to bank on the fact that Garcia is going to shoot for takedowns, maybe be successful, maybe not, get tired, gas out, and Pichel moves away with it, right? With the striking and then a possible submission or something, right? But if you're on the side of Garcia, youth, right? Youth, durability, endurance. So I actually think this fight can go either way, but I'm going to side with Rafa Garcia here to get it done. I don't think he gasses out. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting fight.
I think he gasses out. He's built like a fucking truck. Like, I think he has a little bit more mass. And I think that Vince Pichel might be wrong here. I think he dogs it out. This guy's a fucking dog, bro. Like, this guy, 42 years old for a cat like this, bro. Bro thinks bro's probably training right now to Metallica, bro. Feeling like he's 25.
Seeing how far these odds are, this is one of those fights where I'm gonna look at the live bets, because after I'm gonna look to see how that first round looks, man, and then look at the live odds.
Well, it'll go extremely high if Rafa. It will explode. Like, if Rafa dominates the first round, it will explode to a minus 800. I put money on it, because it's just like, this guy is not a minus 480. Like, who have you beat worthy of a minus 480? Clay Guida? You're gonna tell me Clay Guida is value of a no? And look what happened. He fought a real top 15 fighter in Dawson and got completely well. That was a different story, but
it was prior to him being top 15.
That was elite. That was elite. Like, Dawson trains with
that was Dawson's coming out party. I think that's when he talked about his wife, right? Talked about his wife's dump truck.
Oh yeah. That was not French. I was in the cottage when we called that fight. I'm gonna go with Pichel. I like a plus 360 odds. Minus 480 doesn't do it for me. Shout out to the individual that ruined all these motherfuckers parlays last weekend. It's sort of kind of that thing where it's like, okay, well, who the fuck are you to have a minus 480? But again, it's not a game. It's just Vegas. Let's be honest.
And then that's the thing. Like, be careful when you look at these people with wide odds. And I try not to put heavy favorites into parlays. A lot of the time, sometimes I do, and that's a big error, right? Because we've seen it happen a lot. You throw somebody with these wide odds in a parlay, and they're supposed to be your safe pick, and what do? They end up blowing it, right? Remember Peyton Talbot at a minus 1,200? That's the guy we least thought was gonna ruin the parlay, and what happened? He got dominated. So it is what it is, man. We are on opposing ends here. I'm gonna look at the live odds for this fight, and I'll make a bet as the fight progresses. But for now, I'm going with Rafa Garcia. Next up, we have some women going at it. We have Julia Psycho Polastri taking on Lupi Godinez. Polastri is 13-4-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Corey McKenna via split decision. Godinez is 12-5-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Mackenzie Dern via unanimous decision. Let me toss the mic to you, man. Break this fight down for me.
I'll break it down I'll simplify this shit. Lupita's gonna come in as a boxer. If she comes in as a boxer and shows no evolution prior to her last fight, she loses. And then look, what do the odds say? One of the reasons why they have her as a favorite is the level of opposition. Mackenzie Dern. We saw what my girl Dern did to Rivas. Then you got Verna. Verna is a top 5 fighter, right? But then you got Tabitha Ritchie. Would you consider, maybe, all this different stuff. I don't see it. But then you got Julia that came out, and you know what's interesting? Rafa and Julia were on the same cards. You're getting a circulation of fighters that were in that same card as Rafa Garcia.
Yeah. Well, we see that often with a lot of cards, I think.
It's pretty cool. But I think Julia takes it. I think when it comes to the Brazilian, her MMA ability is there. McKenna should have outstrucken her, but she didn't. McKenna took it off, displayed good Thai boxing, displayed good grappling, just mixed it up overall. So how does Lupita win? She has to mix it up, but I don't think she has the capabilities to do that. Like I don't think it's there, man. Like and shout out to this team. The issue is what I see in Lupita is what I see in Alexa Grasso when she was coming up. It's a very heavy-handed fighter, like that would just.
And horrible. I think a lot of people are upset in Loopy because she has fought tougher opposition, but when she faces that tougher opposition, she makes bad decisions. Right? She's a bit inconsistent. Right? She's always fell flat. You look at the Jandiroba fight. You look at Mackenzie Dern fight. She fell flat on both those fights. If you're on the side of Loopy, you're probably banking on the fact that she trains at elevation. She's gonna come in with the wrestle heavy plan. Right? She's at home. She's gonna have the crowd behind her. I think this is Loopy's fight to lose, but I as well I'm gonna go with Polastri. I think Polastri is coming into her own, right? Like if you look at her, she's a volume striker and her grappling's improving, right? Like she secured, I think, 4 takedowns across her 2 fights, 3 against Knudsen and 1 against McKenna. And she throws with a lot of volume. She's a high output striker, man. That's the one thing I like about her. She's not afraid to engage in a scrap. I like her striking. I like her movement. One thing I'd like to see her improve on is her striking defense. She does get hit a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. And like you said, right, does Loopy come in with the striking approach or with the wrestling approach? We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out. But I am going to go with Julia as well. I think Julia should win this. Can win this.
Should be the favorite. The favorite she should be.
So we're both. So far we're 4 fights in, and I went with 2 underdogs. You went with 3 so far. So
that's crazy. Man. 3 Hubbard. That's fucking crazy.
You already went with 3, bro. So that's the thing though. Like we try not to look at odds all the time, right? We just pick the fight based on what we know and what we studied, correct? So sometimes when you look at a fight, like sometimes it's funny because I'll look at a card, right? And I'll be like, oh, this guy should take it. And then I look at the odds. I'm like, oh, this guy's a plus 400. Why is he a plus 400? What are we doing here? Right?
It's insane, bro.
We'll move on here. 2. I think this is a good fight, man. I think this is another dog that a lot of people are going to bet on. We have Melquizal Costa taking on Christian C-Rod Rodriguez. Costa is 22-7-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Andre Fili via submission in the first round. Rodriguez, C-Rod, a.k.a. the Prospect Killer, is 12-2-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Austin Bashi via unanimous decision. Costa, when he's fighting at range and utilizing his Muay Thai, he looks good, right? I like his kicks and his legs to the body, as I've mentioned to in the past when we've broken them down. He's a shoot-the-box fighter. He's an aggressive striker with the grappling edge. He does have a lot of submission. He lands a lot of strikes, but he also absorbs a lot of strikes, so his striking defense isn't the best. His takedown average is 0.77 per 15 minutes at a 50% success rate with 1 submission attempt per fight. So a lot of people are probably going to pick Costa based on recency bias, right? That he was able to sub Andre Fili. They're probably going to think he's going to do it again. 2, Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a well-rounded, strong kickboxing and submission and has good submission defense. He likes to blend in his kickboxing with his wrestling. And as I mentioned, this is going to be an interesting fight because you have somebody in Rodriguez who's, I would say that to date, this is probably going to be like a step up in competition, right? Because he's fought a lot of young people. You have your screen still showing, brother.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, you have a lot of younger opposition, right? And I think this is going to be a good test for him. This is going to be a good fight. And I'm going to go with Rodriguez. I think he's going to have the output. He's going to be sound defensively. And, looking at Costa's last fight against Andre Fili, I honestly think he was losing on the feet prior to Fili giving him the neck, right? I think it was like a weird, like slow choke that he got. And, looks like Fili just slid his head right in. So, yeah, I'm going with C-Rod.
Yeah, my apology. When you were saying that, I was just phasing out with a
No, I
client.
get no, but I mean, so like more security purposes, because
Yeah. Well, we gotta edit that shit out though. Like that little. Is it cool?
yeah, we'll edit it out. Well, we're still recording, so
Yeah.
we'll edit
No,
it out.
100%. So yeah, let's be honest. Andrew Feely and Rodriguez, when they were, Andrew Feely and Costa, when they were kind of locking horns, it was close. I think we had both picked Philly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we both picked Philly because he was at home. He should have won that fight. He was at home. When he's on, right?
Bro, you know what's so shit is that like sometimes like Ricky Simon was at home and my man fucking
He
banged
fucked him
in
up,
his
bro. He fucked him up.
fucking dog, bro. Fucking hammer that motherfucker. I'm gonna go with Rodriguez. I like what I've seen from Rodriguez. I think he's been able to handle these up and coming prospects. The Erosa loss is actually like it's a good loss. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just don't understand how this guy goes in to defeat all the like. Look, take Rosa's fucking under like 0, takes Kamaran 0, takes Isaac 0, loses to a Rosa, which is like again a good veteran now, and then goes against Bashi, and we're all bullish on Bashi and takes a 0. So, but like I said, I it's gonna be a tough fight. I just think that the man has good takedown defense, bro. I think he gets it done. With the striking, he's able to nullify. I think all this prep he's done against Rosa and Bashi pays dividends against Costa because like you got that good at defending. So what are you gonna tell me? You're not gonna defend Costa's takedowns? So eliminate that. You eliminate the submission threats. And Rodriguez has good hands, bro. It's from the Anthony Pettis camp. Yeah. The reach. I mean, 3 inches. He's good at the inside, bro. Like the way he fought Bashi was very poetic, I have to say.
And I think like a lot of these prospects that he's fought are grappling heavy, right? So a lot of people probably don't note his striking power. Like his kickboxing is really good, right? But he's actually had to defend a lot of these takedowns when he's gone against like Isaac Ogarian, when he's gone against Raul Rosas, when he's gone against Austin Bashi. So he's going against somebody like Ezequiel Costa, who doesn't shoot a lot of takedowns. He doesn't secure a lot of takedowns. I think he gets it done here, man.
And he's like a new veteran. Like you actually look a new kind of, well, not a new, but like if you look at the lifespan, Austin Hubbard made his pro debut at 2015. So that's for only 4 years fighting in the UFC, and then he's managed to put a good winning streak together. Let's be honest about it. Like it's gonna happen, bro. This is the best fight, the best. I completely understand that. Is this performance of the night winners? I think so. No, this is something else. This is performance of the night. I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna go with Christian. Like I just like the odds. I think Christian is a good bet to put into place.
I'm going with Christian as well, and we'll see. We'll move on here to our next bout. We have Atiba Gautier taking on Jose Medina. I think this fight was made for for science, bro. I think they were looking at it. They're like, we're gonna get a guy with a lot of muscle, a lot of power, who can finish fights early, and we're gonna put him against another cat who's durable, who doesn't get knocked out, who fucking just dogs it out despite him getting his ass beat. And we're gonna put him at elevation, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. But Gautier is 6-1-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Yura Naito via KO. Medina is 11-4-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Zachary Reese via unanimous decision. I think we were both on the side of Reese here, and a lot of people, I remember in the build-up to that fight, a lot of people were saying that he was going to get Medina out in the first round, and I remember when that fight ended, Reese's cardio was tested. Like, man, this guy's fucking tough. I couldn't get him out of there, man. Like, first time Reese went to a decision, I believe. First time he went to the distance. And Medina's a tough guy, man. He got signed to the UFC purely because he proved how durable he is, and how much grit he has. He takes a lot of damage. He gets beat. He's not really good anywhere, bro. He just moves forward and continues to work despite losing rounds. Gautier, he is debuting. He has a background in Sambo and Muay Thai. He has a ton of power behind his strikes, but has poor takedown defense. His only loss comes from him not having success early on, which led to him being gassed later and eventually losing. like I said, man, if Gautier doesn't put him out early, if his power isn't all there, and Medina's durability is all we make it out to be, it's gonna be interesting, right? This is gonna be an interesting fight to freaking bet live, in my opinion. But Gautier should win this fight, man. But I'm gonna stay away. Well, I might be a DJ. I might sprinkle a little bit on Medina live to see how if he survives the first round. But Gautier should win this fight. I'm gonna stay away from this betting wise. I'm not gonna suggest you guys to bet this. I might myself DJing.
Throw $20, bro. Throw $20.
Yeah, live though. We'll put it on our X live if we feel that okay, Medina's live. The first round. We'll see what happens. Right, this guy's gas tank at elevation. But I'm gonna go with Gautier. He should win, man. He should win here. But yeah, I'm gonna stay away from it.
Well, who am I going for, Roy?
You're gonna go with Medina because you're looking for value. Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, look, this is like, bro has. That's why, I was creeping the social medias because I wanted to kind of see, what fight. Look at Kevin, eh? I wanted to see, give me more data, give me more. Who were you fighting? Like, who was your camp, right? Like, it's hard to get that. Let me see. Nah, bro, what are we doing over here? Nah, man, like. I'm mostly interested in like who was your camp, where did you train, how far did you, and that's the thing about it, because when you're not high level in the card, people don't give a shit about you. But for bettors, you want to know when did he show up to Mexico City, because that's something.
That's one thing that I was looking at throughout the whole week is when people arrive. Like one of the things that made me confident in Julia Polastri and somebody we'll talk about later is that they've been in Mexico like for the past 4 weeks, right? They've been at the UFC PI in Mexico training. So that tells me that they're taking it serious, that they're trying to get their body adjusted to the elevation and they're not just arriving on fight week. Sorry, continue.
No, you were good. Like I said, this is what I'm just focused, bro, because here's the thing about it. Like the only issue with Medina's a little bit, is it reckless, the wording, a little bit, a little bit reckless, a little bit lazy. There's so many different issues. Does Atiba, and this is why I like these levels of fights because there's a little more analysis. The reach is it's insane. Because what is this guy, a middleweight, and with 3 more inches, he ties John Jones.
You're a guy that likes reach, though, man. What are we doing? I thought you like reach.
Yeah, but I don't like when you like. It didn't look that good in the Contender Series. Like he got it done, but you go into high elevation, bro. What happens when Medina just puts his chin down and just starts heading forward? My guy, he's gonna if he misses a couple times, his gas tanks depletes. So, yeah, I mean, look, if you made a little bit of money, sprinkling $20 on Medina is not a bad bet. $20 gets you $100. Gets you $100. So. Why not? But again, if you're averaging on reach, this is a situation. This guy's gonna look into clamp down. Like he shouldn't be pressuring. He should just stay in the middle of the fight.
It's gonna be interesting, man. This fight can go 2 ways. Either he gets him out of there early, or he fucking gasses out, and Medina just continues to push forward and just wins off of sheer just pressure, right? Just sheer pressure, putting him up against the cage, not letting him strike. And it's going to be interesting, man. But we're on opposing ends here, so we'll see what happens.
Of course, we're on opposing ends. This is
what's Topology saying? What are the boys on Topology saying? KO.
They're saying you're going to get wrecked.
Yeah, see.
But that's what they said about Duncan, bro. That's what they said about Duncan. That's what they're going to
wreck. I'll say this about Duncan. Duncan does well when they give him the neck. Shout out to Balagioki. Shout out to Vucenic. When they give him the neck, he does well, man.
That's nasty.
All right, next up here we have one of your favorite fighters. She's a runner. She's a track star. CJ Vergara taking on Edgar Chairez. If you don't get what that means, we'll explain it in a bit. Chairez is 11-6-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Joshua Van via unanimous decision at UFC Noche. Vergara is 12-6-1 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Ramazan Temero via KO. Now, why did I say she's a runner? She's a track star, man.
Because when bro gets hit, he just runs, bro. He don't give a fuck about the fan. He just runs that fucking. bro, it's actually insane, and it's just like I get it, but this is what caused them to get stopped. Like, and I look at his losses and I sympathize with, Asu faced Asu faced this man Manel Cape. I think I was big on Manel Cape. Tyra,
yeah, he said he'll kill a girl.
And then Ramazan just faced a Johnson too, right? So you look at it from that perspective.
I think we both picked Temero for that fight, right? Did you pick Temero or were you on Vergara's side?
Temero, and he was a good bet too. Like he wasn't a big underdog.
It was his debut. It was his debut.
Yeah, but he impressed. Little short, little tank guy. We got to see what he did against Charles Johnson, and like is impressive what he did. He just held on there. He lost the third round, but brother, it doesn't matter.
I know we're clowning, but CJ Vergara is a good fighter. He's 1-1 when he has ran away, when he has gotten stunned and run circled the octagon. I think against who was it that he last fought? Not last fought, but before that. Let me see. Got their name. Let me pull it up right here.
Yeah.
Daniel Lacerda. That's when he first did it against Daniel Lacerda, and he ended up getting the ground and pound finish. And then against Temerov, he got knocked down like 3 times, and then ultimately got taken out of there in the first round. I think, when you look at Chairez, he's I already said this. Chairez, he's a good aggressive Muay Thai striker. He has the length. He can fight off his back, and he has a knack for submissions. 7 of his 11 wins come from submission. He moves forwards, he throws with volume and has output. And I think his ground game is underrated. When you look at Vergara, he is a Muay Thai specialist. He lands about 4.53 significant strikes per minute at a 45% accuracy. And he has some power behind his strikes. He has 3 KO victories in the UFC. He's durable. Prior to Temerov, he had never been knocked out. He has a decent chin and he has good recovery ability. Even though we've been making fun of him, he has some good recovery ability. We saw that in the Daniel Lacerda fight. He's good in the clinch. He excels with throwing elbows, throwing knees in close quarters. The question is, do you see Vergara closing the distance, getting in the clinch, limiting Chairez's reach, right, and defeating him via that way? Or do you see Chairez kind of keeping this at reach, keeping it at length, pushing the pace at his rate and pulling it out? I'm gonna go with Chairez here. I like his move. The only thing I don't like about Chairez actually is his movement, is his footwork, and that's one of the things I noted against Joshua Van. Right, his footwork isn't the best in my opinion, but he does move forward. He does have the reach. I'm gonna go with Chairez.
Yeah, but again, it's a fighter against a runner, because that's the thing about it, bro. When you run like that, that's an issue, bro. You're running.
Like, I remember when he did that, you were very upset. I remember
why are you running? Like, and I didn't even have money on him, but it's just very frustrating because it's like you're running away in a very small octagon. If it was a bigger octagon, I understand, but it's also a flyweight that has good cardio. So you're trying to recover, you're trying to run away. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to flip over. You're going to flip, and those because that's not what they teach you in MMA. Those are fundamental things that when that happens and you do that, bro, you're reacting. That's not how you react, bro. Compose yourself. Step back. Look at what's available. You got hit, clinch, take it to the ground, right? But running is not the way, bro. It really isn't. And I think Chairez, I think Chairez won the first round against Van at Noche de UFC. I think Chairez's issue was that he put it all out there in the first round, and then Van, bro, that kid's a top 15 fighter off the bat.
He has another fight. It got announced, him versus Bruno Silva.
Yeah, and bro, let's mortgage the house. Call the auntie.
I've been on Van's side for a long time, man. I don't doubt that kid, man. That kid is good, man. Yeah, both
Charles Johnson knocked him out in the third, but that was in the third round. Johnson was taking that first 2.
And remember, when Van took Chairez, he was coming in on short notice, and our biggest question was, how's he going to look coming in on short notice, coming off of a knockout? Where's his mind at? And boy, has he looked fucking good, man.
Yeah, it was concerning. The first round was a little bit concerning, you know that, because you don't know like the speed. My boy got an OnlyFans on.
What?
Oh,
my boy, you're about to cancel your Aileen subscription and go over to Chairez.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Funny. That's crazy. But yeah, we're both on the side of Chairez here. This is our featured prelim. He should get it done. Vergara, if you're on the side of him, you're probably banking on the fact that he's going to close the distance, get in the clinch, land some nice elbows, land some vicious knees, and get it done. But we're both going with Chairez here. Yeah. He has a 4-inch reach.
The reach is pretty good. But anyways.
Yeah, 4 inches. So kicking off the main card, we have Ronaldo, a lazy boy, sleepy boy, Rodriguez taking on Kevin Borjaz. Rodriguez is 17-2-0 and is 4-5. It's 5-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Ode Osborne via unanimous decision. Borjaz is 9-3-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Alessandro Costa via KO. Now, I'm gonna go with Ronaldo here. My only concern with Ronaldo is in that Ode Osborne fight. I talked about it in our recap show. He gets hit a lot, right? His striking defense isn't the best. And I think I even told you I want to see him improve on his striking defense. And I can't wait till his next fight comes around to see if he's improved on that, right? This is his next fight. So we're going to see. He's going up against Kevin Borjaz, who has good striking. He has good kicks. You know, he moves forward. He's on a 2-loss losing streak, but I wasn't too impressed with his decision making, man. And like in his Alessandro Costa fight, his leg was getting chopped up. He got knocked down with those leg kicks. And then instead of switching stances and adjusting, my man got right up and gave him the leg again. He's like, here you go, chop it down. And he got it chopped down. Yeah. So I think Ronaldo Rodriguez, he's a star, man. Like after the UFC Noche card, I think he reached like 2 million Instagram fans, right? Instagram follows.
Latinos.
He Latinos. What's up?
Question. Wasn't he a top 15 after that last fight?
I don't think he was.
I feel he was. Like he got it.
I think he asked for a top 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was a top 15. I think he asked for it. Or I think Raul Rojas asked for a top 15. One of them asked for it.
We'll get into Raul Rojas in a bit.
Yeah, I don't think Ronaldo's top 15.
Mr. Like Delusional, eh? We'll talk about Mr. Delusional.
Yeah, I think Lazy Boy can get it done. He's good on the ground too, man. Like despite him being hittable on the feet, on the ground he works. He has that dog. He's very durable. You know, I like not Raul Rojas. I like Rodriguez here, man. I think he gets it done, man. I think he gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, dude, bro, let's be honest with you. Oda hit him with the fucking tank, bro. Like Oda is, and Lazy Boy
have you heard his interview when he talks about it?
It's
so funny, bro. Especially when like if you speak Spanish, it's so funny. He's like, hey, güey, me partieron el madre, el pinche Ore me dio un putazón, me caí pa'l piso y dije, ay, güey, ¿dónde estoy? Luego, when I came back to life, I realized that I was in the sphere, and I said, "Ay, güey, I can't fucking get my ass kicked here." So you just grabbed them right away. It's so funny, dude. If you watch, I'll send it to you.
I'll say this: I love a fighter with heart, man, and Rodriguez has just shown heart. And look, I'm picking this guy to -150. I think it's free money. It is free money. I'm not gonna disrespect Borjaz. Borjaz is good. But, you know, you're going against a little bit of a hill. Now, he does give away a little bit 3-inch reach advantage, but, like, Raw is going to grapple. He's going to mix it up the MMA. So,
but if you look at Borjaz, his last 2 losses came from him gassing out and throwing less volume, you know, against Joshua Van and getting his legs chewed up. Well, Costa, right? Like when he lost to Joshua Van, Kevin Borjaz, you know, he got tired. So he starts off hot, and this is at elevation. I see Rodriguez level changing, you know, getting in the clinch, securing takedown, and you know, getting a submission here. Actually, I think Rodriguez is live to get a finish, whether it's on the feet or on the ground. I think this fight does not go the distance, so I got Rodriguez finishing it here in the third round.
I think the money line for the win is excellent here.
What's the decision prop? Do you have that up? I know you have it up.
No, I don't have it up, but I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, you look at Rodriguez, right? He has 5 submission wins, and then Borjaz has, just doing simple math here, right? Borjaz has 1 submission loss.
Luis Rodriguez, right? Yeah, Ronaldo Luis Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Damn, it's a -114. Sorry, -42. It's dropping down for for Lazy Boy. I like Lazy Boy in this one. The decision is plus 115.
Yeah, and I think
Sorry,
if money's
150 minus 150 for the decision. No,
yeah.
for plus 115.
Yeah, so I think, if money's coming in on Borjas, I think people are banking on the fact that Rodriguez has poor striking defense and that, he's going to hit him, he's going to tag him, drop him, and probably get him with the ground and pound. But I think Rodriguez gets it done, man. I don't think Borjas is that guy.
He definitely ain't.
We'll move on here. We're both going with Lazy Boy here to get it done, man. Next up, we have David Martinez taking on Simon Oliveira. Martinez is 11-1-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Xavier Franklin via unanimous decision. Oliveira's 18-5-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Daniel Marcos via KO, TKO. Martinez is a well-rounded fighter who looks to utilize his striking. He, mixes in the boxing with his kicks. He aims to keep the fight standing. He doesn't really his takedown defense is pretty good, but he prefer to have the fight standing where he can utilize his effective striking. He's going up against somebody in Oliveira who's been out of the octagon for 2 years due to injuries. He has the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, and he is a submission threat if he could take the fight to the ground. This fight is very simple to break down. You have somebody who's been gone for 2 years up against somebody who's upcoming, who's active, who has good takedown defense. I think his takedown defense is going to be good here. I think he's going to keep this fight standing, and I think he's going to put Oliveira away. So I got Martinez to win. Very simple.
Martinez. Smoking hot Martinez. That's it. I just don't see anything from Oliveira. I just don't like his last couple of events, really. Like
5-6 to 5-4. Remember that fight? That girl, I forget her name, Martinez versus Ardelian, where she kicked her in the stomach. Remember that fight? Mm-hmm. That's his sister. So they both have like that taekwondo, that karate base.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's not bad. But
expect some nice kicks, expect some nice strikes, expect his takedown defense to hold up at elevation. Oliveira's been gone for 2 years. He has the injury. We don't know, like as you like to say in the past, we don't know if these guys are still injured, right? So we're gonna go with Martinez here to get it done.
Chasing value, baby. Well, I mean, look,
man, a minus 400, bro. There's no value there, bro. But
if you're confident in 2 more fights, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of it's just a minus 400, bro. If you literally grab, let's say for example, a guy that's like minus 112, and you put Martinez in, he'll probably be like a minus 105 or a plus 100. It's just sometimes, bro.
Yeah. Next up, we have Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Vince Morales. I feel like we just saw Vince Morales, man.
We did.
Rosas Jr. is 11-1-0 and is 4-5 in the last 5 bouts, last beating a Roquiling via unanimous decision at UFC Noche. Morales is 16-9-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Elijah Smith, who was making their UFC debut via unanimous decision. I think on that fight, we were both on opposing ends, right? I think you went with Morales and I went with Smith. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Told you so. I'm just kidding. When you look at Morales, he's a gritty striker. He has good grappling defense and durability. Man, I don't know, man. Like, he got cut from the UFC. He wasn't doing too hot. He went on the regional scene. He did well. He came back, and he's not doing hot again. I kind of think he knows his role here, right? I think seeing him up against Elijah Smith, he had success on the feet, and then Elijah Smith mixed in the grappling, he mixed in the striking. It kind of tired him out a little bit, cut him up. I'm gonna go with Raul Rosas, man. I think Raul Rosas is getting better, man. He's a dynamic grappler. His striking is improving. He has that aggressive component, and he's hungry, man. I think he gets it done here, man. Nice BJJ, young, rapid, fast. Give me Rosas here all day, man.
I mean, look, what makes Rosas strong here is his grappling, and I think Morales negates it. And the thing is, if he doesn't, this is a problem for Morales. I don't think he gets a 4th shot. He came in last minute versus Lapalus. Lapalus is not in the UFC anymore, by the way.
He signed with the PFL, right? I saw a post.
Yeah, negotiations and everything, and wanting to. He probably just say, you know what? Let me go for the $1 million. Well, it's not even $1 million anymore. I think it's like $500,000. So
yeah,
Let me go for the $500,000. Fought Elijah Smith, which is an undefeated, well, close to undefeated fighter. I mean, look, here's the issue, bro. When you're talking about Rosas telling you, I'm going to contend for the belt, I don't think you get that good. Like, I think you have a heart of a Mexican, and but you're not there yet. If he comes out and he shows K1 striking, bro, fuck Sean O'Malley. It's a problem, but I don't think he's refined his striking. You see, and that's the issue. Morales is actually very he's a veteran. I think he switches it up, cuts him up, mixes it up. Also an elevation you have to factor in. Rosas is Mexican American, but American born. I mean, similar to Morales. I think both of them American born Mexican. If you were to tell me Rosas has been training in Mexico City, I'd be like, okay, well, this might be a concern, but I don't think so. So I'm going to go with Morales, man. I think Morales has one more shot. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, bro. Okay. You're going to go with Morales.
It was great. It was, I mean, you got to, like I said, this is like,
I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, yeah, okay, Morales, let's go.
I know, but let me see. Yeah, you see, he's already a plus 335. So I like the value in Morales. Like I do, I like the value.
All right, we'll see. Move on here to Kevin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. Gastelum is 19-9-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Daniel Rodriguez via unanimous decision. Joe Pyfer is 13-3-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Mark Andre Barrio via KO. Now, I know Kevin Gastelum is not your best friend. He's not your favorite fighter. My man was eating tacos. My man was joking, and that joke became very, very real when he missed weight. You look at Gastelum, right? He's well-rounded, right? Despite his issues with the weight. He has good boxing, he has strong wrestling, and he's very durable, right? He's never been put away. KO'd, right? His chin has held up pretty well. Pyfer, you look at Pyfer, he's training with Sean Brady. He's at that camp, and we saw how good Sean Brady looked last week, right up against your boy Leon Edwards. Are you a believer now of Sean Brady? I'm gonna ask you, are you gonna fade him next time, or are you gonna pick him? Because you faded him both times, bro. We've been doing since we've been recording. So I'm gonna ask you this now: are you a believer, or are you still gonna fade him?
Okay, so I mean, against who? Against who? Who's he gonna fight?
Well, whoever he goes against. I'm just saying in his next fight.
Does he fight?
He's number 3 now. So
Wolf? No, isn't he number 1?
Oh no, he's not number 1. He's not number 1 contender.
I saw a thing where I was just like shocked. Let me see if it's true.
No, he's number 3. I think.
No, he's number 1.
Oh, he's number 1 now. Wow. Oh, because Shavkat's injured.
Bro, no. Well, yeah, but beating Ian, that is insane.
It makes sense though. He should have been number 2. But yeah, we'll move on.
Shavkat, bro. They needed to give it a Shavkat. So,
he's injured. He's injured.
But you can't devalue the fight. Well,
yeah,
unless
you can't have somebody injured there. You can't have somebody injured in the rankings, bro.
That's crazy, bro. You got number 5 fighting for the belt, and now you got let's face the facts, right? Like Brady was below Magdalena prior to him winning. So Kamaru needs to pack it up, bro.
Yeah. We'll move on here though. We got this fight, man. This is a middleweight fight. It's not a welterweight fight. I just asked you if you believe in Brady. My boy, he couldn't believe the rankings. He said, nah, man. So I'm gonna take that as you don't believe in Brady yet, right?
All right. I would want to see who he gets paired up with.
If they give him Ian Gary, bro, throw the house on Brady. Throw the house on Brady.
What are the odds, though? I mean, what are the You know me. What are the odds? What are you talking about?
I'd rather look at the odds than the fight itself. That's funny, man. All right, let's go. You look at Pyfer, right? Pyfer has, he's a striker as well. He has strong knockout power and decent grappling. He has a 92% finishing rate so far. He has quick hands. He's physical. He's tall. How much height does he have on Gastelum, man? Gastelum's what, 5'9"? 5'9" up against somebody who's 6'2" with a 4-inch reach advantage.
This is an issue, bro.
I think at middleweight, Kevin Gastelum, I think he's going to get tired, man. At this elevation, big boy, man, going to get tired. And I think, seeing how Sean Brady beat Gastelum at 170 via submission, I'm not going to be surprised if Sean Brady tells his best friend, Joe Pyfer, who they do a podcast together, listen, this guy's never been knocked out, bro. Don't fuck around. Take his ass down, choke him out. That's going to be a prop I'm going to look at when it drops on my end. I am in Vegas. The props haven't dropped at the sports books for me. I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer here, man. I think Joe Pyfer can get it done.
I want to look at something. This Daniel Rodriguez fight, where was it? At welterweight.
It was at welterweight, yeah.
What's he doing, bro? He should have just stayed in welterweight.
He made a statement, though, that he's no longer going to welterweight. He's going to stay at middleweight.
Nah, bro. The issue was Kevin Gastelum, like, and you know what it is, bro? He probably keeps seeing that Israel Adesanya fight, and he says, like, well, I could do this shit. Like, it was a different fight. Kevin had a very distinctive footwork back then that I think with age, you have it's kind of like he had a little bit of a TJ Dillashaw footwork where he was able to kind of blitz in very quickly. So I mean, look, if you're looking at the fight right now, the odds have actually gone down. Kevin Gastelum is no longer the heavy, like he was a plus 400, but now he's a plus 250. And I like value, bro. But here's the thing about it. Kevin Gastelum at middleweight, it's not a fighter that eats well. You know, it's a guy that, you know, has shown to quit. Joe Pyfer has trained with Brady, like you said. They're both from the same camp, Philly boys. Yeah, bro, this is gonna be nasty, bro. I might be wrong. I just don't get how Gastelum gets it done at this particular age. And he's only 33, bro, but it's you know what it is, bro? And I know I'm mumbling now, I'm circling. Kelvin is the same as Kevin Holland. These guys are much more efficient at welterweight. Am I wrong?
I don't know. A welterweight, yeah, but you know, I think because the way my mind works is like, you know, Sean Brady had his coming out party last week where he choked out Leon Edwards, made him tap for the first time, right? I think this is gonna be Pyfer's like, you know what, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna put somebody out. Either it's the KO if you're gonna bank on him KOing Gastelum, or you're gonna bank on him getting the submission. I see him taking him down to the ground and choking him out, man. I don't know. Because at elevation, dude, like, do you think both these guys want to go to the third round, the second round? You think they both want to go to decision? Where it's going to be interesting because at middleweight, how's Gastelum going to look, right, in those later rounds? And then how's Pyfer going to look when he doesn't go past the first round often at elevation?
Bro, it's only on welterweight, bro. You know, he hasn't been, like, that's the thing. We know this story before. Like, Kelvin is not, like, what made us think that, okay, you know what, Kelvin is eating healthier. What's the time spent in Mexico City? How much conditioning did he do? Like,
exactly.
Like, I think that Joe Pyfer, to compare him, is like Gregory Rodriguez sort of power that he has, like very fuck you power. Joe Pyfer did contend in a main event where this loss here revealed in his eyes that he needs to get better, and that was a fight that he was clearly dominating. Hermanson beat Gastelum years ago. And he was winning the first and second round, but he tipped on the third round. If this was a main event, bro, I'd be a little bit more Gastelum in the fact that, okay, well, if he doesn't get knocked out, he could drag it down, and Pyfer could get tired. But it's not. It's a 3 minute. It's a 15-minute fight, bro. We're gonna go strongly for Pyfer here, bro. It's not. It's insane, actually.
All right, we're both going Pyfer here. We'll move on to our co-main events. We have Manuel El Loco Torres taking on Drew Dober. This is going to be a banger of a fight. This fight does not go the distance. Do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think it ends like right away, second round?
It's good call.
We'll find out. Torres is 15-3-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Ignacio Bahamondes via KO. Not a bad person to lose to. Dober is 14-7-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Gene Silva via KO. Not a bad person to lose to. You know, Torres, he's an aggressive, high-pressure fighter with explosive striking and strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I think in his I think his issue up against Bahamondes is he underestimated the length and the reach of Bahamondes, right? Every time he blitzed in, Bahamondes was able to land that right and knock him down. I think he knocked him down twice and ultimately getting the knockdown and then the ground and pound. You know, if you look at Dober, he's a durable brawler with heavy hands and solid grappling defense. He has knockout power. His last fight against Silva was a fucking war. His eye was fucking so swollen that they had to stop the fight. Right? He didn't get finished. He got told, "Hey, you can't continue because your eyes like looking bad, brother. It's like hanging out." It's gonna be an interesting fight, man. I don't see Torres, who is younger, who's at home, who's better, I think, on the ground and who's fast, who has power. I don't see him losing to Dober, man. And I know that like the concern here is he did get knocked out. He got knocked out by Bahamondes, right? But that's Bahamondes, man. I'm gonna go with Torres here. I think Torres can get it done. Okay. I think Torres can get it done. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Torres.
I'll go with Dober, man. I like Dober. I think Dober has fought the tougher competition.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna surprise us. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be intrigued to see how Torres approaches this fight, because when you get knocked out, right, or knocked down, like we always talk about, how does this fighter approach this next fight? Are they gonna be gun shy? Are they gonna switch it up a bit? Like, I want to see if he's a little more conservative with his aggressiveness. Like, is his blitzing in gonna be the same with somebody like Dober, who can, put you out? It's gonna be interesting. That's my only concern, is to see how his game plan is gonna play out, and how his aggressiveness is gonna be altered after getting knocked out by Bahamondes. But I think Torres can get this fight done, man, on the ground or on the feet. So yeah.
So this is where I mean, look, what are we looking at over here? James Silva, Mocano, Frivola. I think the Frivola, he fucked up. He really fucked up. Yeah, I just think he gets on the inside of the reach. I like guys with reach. I don't think. Yeah, I think he gets in the inside of the reach. He doesn't allow him to snap his neck. Yeah, I just didn't like that loss. But again, Bahamondes is a top 15 fighter now. Bahamondes, bro, really showed up to the party.
Well, it aged well, that loss, right?
Yeah, it did. It did age well.
And then you look at this. You look at the Bahamondes fight. Bahamondes is 6'3", right? So Bahamondes gave up 5 inches, and he had the reach. So when he was blitzing in, right, he was punching down, right? He had more success. Whereas here, Dober is 5'8" with a 3-inch, disadvantage, and I think it's gonna favor Manuel Torres more, right? So something to consider, something to look at. But yeah, I guess we're on opposing ends here, right? You're going with Drew Dober. I'm going with Torres. I think regardless of what side you're on, it's going to be a banger of a fight, man. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be good.
It's going to be a good card, like I said. Like I
don't see a local, though. You talk about people being in Mexico. I saw an interview yesterday where Manuel Torres was saying that he's been there for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, kind of preparing his body. Like he was talking about how he's adjusting to the elevation, and how he's starting to get used to it, right? So that's also something to look at.
Dober's.
I try to look for Dober to see when he arrived, and I couldn't find when he arrived to Mexico, and that's something that I was gonna look at and kind of compare, but I couldn't find when he got to Mexico.
Who has the more refined fighting style? Do you think Dober has it?
The more refined fighting style?
Yeah,
well, it's tough to say, because Torres ends his fights all in the first round.
But because of reach and the good and like, I think that reach is. But Dober has very good in and out, and
but it's hard to tell, because Torres, he has finished all his fights early, so we haven't really seen him in the third round, right? Mix it up or level change, or do all these other things in a fight that will help you give a better answer.
You're actually right.
Yeah, we're on opposing ends here. Let's move on to our main event. We have Brandon Moreno taking on Steve Erceg. Moreno is 22-8-2 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Amir Albalsi via unanimous decision, where he looked amazing. Erceg is 12-3-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last lost to Kai Kara France via KO. Moreno, as we mentioned in the past, he has great fluid boxing, right? He has a nice jab. He has good grappling. His fight IQ is good in 5-round fights.
Yeah.
One of the things that is an issue is he does get hit a little bit. His striking defense isn't the best, and he can slow down or kind of drop his guard as the fight progresses. Erceg, he also has nice striking. He's crisp. He has a nice jab as well. Precise striking, and he has early round explosiveness. I just think Moreno is better overall, man. Like, I saw a post. It's funny. I saw a post that somebody was like, "Oh, Moreno has never won in Mexico. Moreno's never won in Mexico. Erceg's gonna put him out for the first time." Like, what are we doing, man? I don't know. I think Moreno has fought the tougher competition. People make the argument that Erceg, you could argue that he beat Pantoja, whatnot, but who has he fought, man, prior to Pantoja? Like, look at his record, right? Like, you can say that he had a fast track to the title and now he's working his way down. But I think Moreno, man, we're going to see like a vintage Moreno here, man. Like, since he's been back, remember against the Amir Albalsi fight, I was questioning his mindset.
Who had Moreno, baby?
No, but remember, I was questioning his mindset, right? Because, when you have somebody that's always going through mental problems, right? And like doubting themselves, you kind of don't know where they're at. But he looked good, man. He looked good. And I think he's going to look good here. I'm going to go with Moreno.
We're going Moreno by default, bro. I think he, this level of Moreno is such a motivated Moreno. And, that's the thing about it, right? Like, you got to question my man going to Mexico City. He's going to come in a little bit more alert for the first time. Erceg has not looked. It's not that he hasn't looked good, bro. It really isn't. You know what it is, bro? Sorry, I'm broing you right now too much. So my apologies for that.
You're what?
I'm broing you too much. I'm throwing the word bro too much.
Oh, you're good, bro. You're good, bro.
I look at
good, bro.
Thank you. How dare you? I look at
Go ahead.
Yeah, I look at the opposition that Steve have faced, and it is no way in regards to my boy over here, Moreno. And like, look, the fight was close with Pantoja, but it's just because of the striking. Like, there was a significant striking edge in that fight. When he fought Kai Kara France, that edge went away. When he fights Moreno, which Moreno's a very active fighter, it goes away too. So
it goes to show you how lacking that division is, right? Like, we've talked about it before, right? Like, that top 5, right? It's they're kind of like cycling who's getting a shot at the title, right? And you look at Erceg's record, he knocked out Matt Schnell, and then he got an immediate title shot at Pantoja. And he didn't have to go through. He didn't have to go through Royval. He didn't have to go through Moreno. He didn't have to go through Kai Kara France. Now he's like making his way down and fighting all these guys, right? So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see, but I think Moreno gets it done here.
Yeah, and like, I think it's a good fight. I mean, look, Abazi, like, I knew he was gonna beat Abazi, but it's just like, bro, Pantoja and Royval is a split decision. With Royval, I think he came uninspired, unimpressed. He wasn't really him. Royval's also a killer. I mean, he's leveled up, but that triangle, bro, that love triangle at the top.
Yeah, let's look at the flyweight. We got Brandon Royval.
These three.
Brandon Moreno, Amir Albalsi, Kai Kara France, Tetsuo Taira, Manel Kape.
Kai's fighting for the belt next, right?
No, isn't it? Is it Kai? I don't think it's been announced. I don't think it's been announced.
Supposedly they were going to do UFC Miami. They were going to have a Pantoja.
I think it's Kape. Isn't it Kape? Didn't Kape like tell Pantoja like we're going to fight next? I think he's next.
Manel Kape?
Yeah. I say Kape, but yeah, Manel Kape.
Nah, so they're really fading Kai?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they're going to do Kape.
It's weird, bro. Like I gotta say, it's weird what's going on with my boy over here. But yeah, that just shows you how lackluster that division is. These motherfuckers need a higher Chael
Go
Sonnen, man.
down, go down. Go. Look who's up there, bro. 14, bro. That's all right, bro. The division's gonna change in a couple in a year or two, bro. Look at number 14 making his way up.
Where
Look at
where's
14. Where's
Oliveira? Oliveira should be in this ranking, no? Bro, I don't get how you have Asakura at top 15 when you have other fighters. Damn, they kicked Johnson off there.
I think Johnson made a post about it too. Like, how does this guy, get to be in the top 15?
Well, I mean, it's a momentum game too, but it's also Sakura draws. Sakura has a big draw. No, I mean, look, I'm just a little bit like holy shit moment.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, look, you want order. Where is Steve Erceg actually? Yeah, man, I just don't think it gets done, bro. You look at who he beat, bro. Chanel retired after that, man. Not after this fight. After Cody, not Gibson. What's the other? Brunnick.
There's a bunch of Codys, man.
In that division, it's insane. But yeah, Moreno takes it. If there's something undisclosed, maybe he loses, but he's a good favorite. Let's check out the betting odds. He's a minus 235 here. Very strong minus 235. I think, and I'm going to be 100 with you, bro. If we go Moreno, Pyfer, what's another lock-in bet? Chairez, bro, plus 160. There's a lot of good potential for parlays here, man. I ain't going to lie to you.
Yeah, it depends on what side you're on and what your belief is, right? Like I have a parlay that I'll probably put out. It's going to be heavy on the Mexicans. I think the Mexicans get it. I don't think this is going to be like noche. I think we're going to have some Mexicans win on this card, man. So we'll see.
Well, I think the strongest guys to win have to be Rodriguez, Chairez,
Rosas.
Bro, I
We'll
don't
see.
know, bro. Like I said,
we'll see. You're saying that Elijah Smith is better than Rosas? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
a guy really the guy making his debut who looked raw is better than
Elijah Smith, bro. Rosas didn't look good. He didn't look that good in the Sphere. Like,
yeah, but he said he was injured. He was battling us. I think he was sick or injured,
bro. Like, everybody's fucking injured, bro. You know what it is, bro. Like, don't tell me you're gonna fight for the title in 3 years, bro. Bro, that bad. Now here's what I could tell Rosas is, bro. Let's focus on getting the top 15, bro. Why don't we fight one of the top 15 guys, bro? Call out my man over here, Sahabi. I'm gonna take you, bro. That he's gonna struggle in that division. I see Rosas dropping weight classes. He would be much more successful in flyweight. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, there it is. All right, guys, there's our full card breakdown. Make sure you tap in on X. Make sure you show some love. Make sure you follow us. We will be live giving our round by round analysis for the fight card. Shout out to Sean Brady, baby. I know my boy is pissed. When Sean Brady beat Gilbert Burns, I immediately sent him a photo of him and Gilbert Burns. I kind of photoshopped it. I added some tears to it. My boy didn't like it. And I think ever since then, I ruined Sean Brady for you, man. Listen, Sean Brady's going to be a champ, bro.
Damn.
When Bilal Muhammad beats JDM and he fights Sean Brady's going to beat him, man.
Bro, you know how biased this was when like
I partially do it to piss you off. I'm not like
I'm good, bro.
I like Brady though. I think Brady's good.
How biased was what's this commentator's name? Fighter.
Bisping?
The other one.
On the card?
One of Felder was teammates with and my man was crying on the mic, bro. Like when he was like it's so happy.
It's funny, bro, because it's like Joe Rogan with Pereira, man. Joe Rogan was so biased with Pereira, dude.
Glazing, they call you glazing that man. It's actually insane. But
speaking about bias, next week we have Murphy versus Elliott, and then right after we have Lopez versus Volkanovski. You want to talk about being biased? you're gonna hear some biased takes from me in 2 weeks. but anyways, we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Fuck yeah. But brother, always a pleasure.
Hell yeah, man. Make sure you follow us on X. Maybe Friday after the weigh-ins, we will drop our full bets, money line parlays.
What are you, bro? What are you funny, bro?
What is my boy? Who's next for Gilbert Burns, man?
Tom Brady, bro. Let's go for that Tom Brady rematch, baby.
Sean Brady, not Tom Brady. That's football.
That's crazy, bro. Sorry.
Oh, they're giving him Morales. Oh no, bro. They're giving him Morales, bro. GG's.
For who? For who, bro?
Michael Morales, bro. You're saying Michael Morales against Burns is not a.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that the closely contested Gilbert Burns that lost to the #1 contender loses to Morales, bro? This is an issue, bro.
I'm telling you that the Gilbert Burns that didn't throw any strikes is gonna lose to the striker in Morales, man. We'll see. It's gonna be a good fight. But when that fight comes, we'll break it down. It's gonna be in Canada too, eh? UFC 315, man. The Bilal card.
Oh, that's
the Ontario. What is it? Is it Ontario? Am I saying it right?
Repost some Ontario, bro.
Shout out to the Canadians, man. Listen, my brother's in Canada. He's prisoner in Canada, man. When are you gonna get out, man? When are you gonna come to the States? Come to Vegas.
Anytime I want, bro. What are you talking about, bro? Who's
come
gonna
to Vegas, man? Come to Vegas, bro.
I can go right now, bro.
We got a plan to go to a card this year, man. Together. I wanted to go to 315, but I didn't like the card too much. I got to go to a banger card.
Yeah, we could figure that out. Yeah, 315 is not the most ideal card, unfortunately.
They got some good fights. They got Natalia Silva. I'm gonna want to watch her.
Who's she fighting?
Against Grasso.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, man.
It's a good fight.
But anyways, guys, make sure you tap it on X. Make sure you show some love. We will drop our bets, our money line, our parlays, our prop bets on Friday. We are adjusting when we drop them because in the past we dropped them before.
Crazy.
We dropped them before the weigh-ins, and then the weigh-ins come, and we're like, "Fuck, we can't cash out our bet, man. We're not gonna cash it out at 50%. What are we doing here? That's wasting money." But anyways, make sure you show some love. Love what you love. Do what you do. Peace.